begin to do things that are untoward and that you don't even know they're doing. When you ask them, what are you doing? I'm doing my homework. They've been doing that homework 1 hour. Meanwhile, if it was on paper, they will do it, rush it, and get up and go. So I'm going to ask for Deacon Akimade to give us some perspective on dealing with children and communication and communicating with children and social media, in the 21st century.
Thank you very much. Praise the Lord. Am I being heard? Sorry? Okay, all right. Can we quickly open to, can you help me put on the screen Daniel chapter 12 verse 4, please? Daniel chapter 12 and verse 4. It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be what? Knowledge shall be what? Increase." Bible historians tell us the book of Daniel was written about 600 BC, 2,600 years ago. So imagine Daniel saying knowledge increased back now. Is more correct? By picking up a 15,000 naira smartphone, you have access to the world. Okay, this is better. You have access to things that me and you cannot imagine. Now, Sister Mabel mentioned that parenting in our days, when we were growing up, honestly, it was much easier. Why? Because the circle of influence was small. From the house help to the driver to one bad boy on the street or school, that was all. Right now, with that mobile phone, with your TV at home, your child is under the influence of somebody in New Zealand. Now, can somebody answer for me, is the internet good or bad? If you think it's good, raise your hands. Let's know whether the eyes or the eyes would have it. If you think it's bad, raise your hands. Both, thank you. It's both. Why? Because it's a tool. It's how you use it that matters. So for me, the moderator mentioned that none of us here are experts. I'm a father of 3 teenagers, 2 of which are in university, and I've been working with teenagers for the past 15 years. So I've learned some things the hard way, and I've learned some things the easy way. So I want to give us 3 standing principles for social media and internet. How many? 3. Number 1, your child should not have access to a phone before they are 13. Your child has no business owning a phone before they are 13 years of age. I see many of us give them phones at a younger age. We are trying to help, but it is a what? Is a tool. Now, can somebody tell me, at what age do you start driving? 18. Why don't you start driving at 15? Maturity. It is believed that the car is a weapon. If you are too young, you will misuse that weapon. Am I correct? In some countries, from the ages of 18, when you start driving till 25, you cannot rent a car. They won't rent a car to you. Because they believe that at that age, your mind is still not mature enough to move that piece of metal through traffic. You may kill people, you may do damage, honestly. And the countries where you learn how to drive, in the US, from 18 till 21, you are not allowed to have any passenger. It's you and the person in front. Because they know that maturity is dependent on how you use some things. So do not let your child have a phone before they are 13. You may be trying to do them good, but you're also doing them harm by not knowing it. So that, please, is rule number 1. Okay? Now, when you buy them the phone at 13, buy them what we call a palasa phone. Don't buy them a smartphone. What's the phone for? It's for communication. Do not see. If half of us knew the dangers of the internet, we will seize that phone immediately. We did something at a session we had downstairs in Teens Church. Go online and search, how can I? Now, there's something on Google called autocomplete. They try to help you based on what other people are searching for. Depending on what you are searching for, once you type how can I, it gives you how can I make love to a woman. Yes. Then it gives you how can I shoot a gun? How do I inject cocaine? People are blaming Google. No, they are aggregating what you are searching for. It's that simple. They do it to try to help. So your child that is 12 will click out of curiosity. Like Sister Lovett mentioned, pornography, internet pornography is a bigger problem than drug addiction. It's terrible. Drug addiction you can see. Internet pornography you cannot see. Marriage counselors now are dealing with 30 to 35-year-old boys who have been suffering from internet addiction, and is affecting their marriages and their lives in very, very bad ways. And you see, at the age of 13, the mind is malleable. It's been proven that children who get addicted to internet pornography before the age of 15 have a far tougher time dealing with it than those who get addicted when they are 30, because the mind is young and the devil tries to catch them young. So please, if you are going to give your child a smartphone, wait until they are 16. Give them a Palazzo phone at what age? 13, and then a smartphone when they're what? 16. And even when you give them the phone, make sure that you don't give them unfettered access. I'll talk about that later. The second rule: do not let your children be on social media before they are 14. This is one of the biggest things that I see happening. And even if you are going to join Facebook, it asks you for your age. Age is what? 13. It wouldn't allow you. I see 10 and 11-year-olds. Like we mentioned, there's the case of that girl at the age of 10 on social media. I don't blame the girl. You see, you cannot blame the school. The school cannot do the work of the parents. That's one of the things that I see that we bring into to society. I call it an 80-20 rule. 80% depends on you, the parent. 20% on the school. If the child is damaged, there's nothing that the school can do. Forget it. There's nothing. And the people who are luckiest here today are those of you who don't have children yet. Because honestly, the knowledge that has been gleaned so far is amazing. It will help you. It will help you. So, if your child is going to get on social media, help them create a page when they are 14. And make sure you follow them and monitor what they are doing. Because social media can be good, it can be bad, it can be ugly. And the issue is that many of us give them unfettered access to these things. They mean well, but they cannot manage the level of temptation and danger that is involved. And many of us like to show off. You are not helping yourself. You're not helping yourself. Help your child by knowing that there are age-appropriate themes and age-appropriate things that they can do. One thing I want to ask parents to do: if you have male sons, watch them when they are playing those video games. Many of them can be very, very destructive and very, 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 very diabolical. Once your child is over the age of 18, I say, don't bother anymore. Once your child is 18, 80% of the damage, sorry to say, has been done. Your child is almost an adult. But if you can start from the age of 4, 5, you are helping your child. So that's the second rule. They should not be on social media. The third rule: make sure that what they watch is age appropriate. Let me explain. Many of them say, okay, go and watch YouTube. Put on telly for them. Watch DSTV. No. You find out for every program, there is always something called an age what? Age recommendation. They say it's PG-13. And I know that Oyibos are very lax. The one that is PG-13, 18-year-old self, know if you watch them. Honestly. But it's called parental guidance for those under 10. So if you are in the habit of saying, go and watch, if your child is under the age of 10, you should not let them watch YouTube unfettered. There's something called YouTube Kids. Please put that on for them. Now, there's something somebody shared when the incident, the Dubai thing happened. I don't know who it was. It's on social media. Please go to our social media page after service, our Facebook, Instagram. We post it there. It shows you how to restrict usage of the internet for your own good. And what I always say is this: if all else fails and you don't know how to, remove the internet itself. Hello, it won't kill you. I know somebody whose son was battering. I mean, this boy was 12 and he will still have phone and go and start checking pornography in the house. So she came home one day and said, okay, no more internet in the house. Remove the modem. Removed, even her own phone was the only one that had internet in the whole house. God will bless us as we listen In Jesus' name, thank you, ma'am. I hope I've not used my time.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So, I mean, you said a whole lot of things, and Sister Faith is going to take over soon, but I'd like you to just hold on to this question. So you said, we shouldn't allow children access to internet early, and I get that. But in another, instance, isn't that an issue if, once you over-restrict things from children, even from adults, they begin to look for it. So they go searching for it because they now want to know, why are you holding it from me? Why are you restricting me from this? I know there's a place of balance, and so I'd like you to hold on to that question, as well as others. And I'm sure that as we're speaking, so many of us have questions. The ushers are going round. They're taking round slips of paper. If you have a question, you can please write down the question. If you don't want to speak, we're going to give opportunity to everyone to ask questions. Well, not everyone, but to take as many questions as we can. Now, we've been talking about parenting in the 21st century. And we've mentioned, Mommy has laid the groundwork. We've talked about the internet. We've talked about children as old as 12 years old, or as young as 12 years old, being overly exposed. Another thing that we find that has become very rampant, or maybe we didn't know about it, is the issue of developmental challenges and the way it is being stigmatized. Now, thankfully, I think much more than before. Oh, my alarm is just ringing, so you did better than your time. So much more than before, I think there is more awareness on autism and other developmental delays and challenges. However, there is also denial. A lot of parents are in denial. I'm sure we've heard of parents who lock up their children, particularly the very affluent ones. They don't want anybody to know what is wrong with their children. They say that one is mad, they say this, and all sorts of things, and then they keep them locked up. But this is real. And guess what? The amount of children that are coming into the world and having these challenges is on the increase. Now, what are the things causing it? Does it have to do with our diet? Is it something that we're doing wrong? Are we eating the wrong things when we're pregnant? There are many things that are unanswered, but it has happened and it is happening. So I guess the main question is, how do we deal with these challenges? And I'm going to hand over to Sister Faith to help us with this particular discussion.
Okay, thank you. I also do like